Hi everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a pasta dish. Yes, a pasta dish with a roasted tomato jalapeno salsa and eggplant. But before you click away, you just have to understand that people in Mexico eat pasta all the time. And when you combine it with one of the really classic salsas, like this roasted tomato jalapeno salsa, it is spectacularly good. Now, if you haven't seen the video on how to make the salsa de molcajete, the roasted tomato salsa, that's where you're going to want to start. The link to that video is below. This is a recipe I think you should know by heart because it's something you're going to want to turn to over and over and over again. Okay, the first thing that I've got to do here, I'm going to start heating up my skillet here over kind of a medium high. And then I'm going to cut the eggplant. And by the way, if eggplant's not your thing, you can substitute another vegetable, but I like its creamy texture with this kind of dish. And we want the pieces to be big enough that when they get smaller as they cook, you'll still have a very nice size in the finished pasta dish. So I'm cutting them a little bit bigger than 3/4 of an inch or so right now. Okay, now I'm going to film the bottom of this hot pan now with olive oil. Remember that your eggplant will absorb quite a bit of oil, so you want to film the bottom of the pan quite generously here, and you should hear a sizzle when it goes in. And once we get it all in here, I want to make it into basically an even, uncrowded, well, it's going to be a little bit crowded layer, but I want to make it so that all the pieces are pretty much touching the bottom of the pan here. Now we're working over a kind of medium-high fire, and I'm going to let those brown. And while that's going, I've got a pot of water on in the back. I heavily salted it. You always want to heavily salt the pasta water so that your pasta will come out already seasoned. A lot of people say it should taste as salty as seawater or a little bit less than that. That's really quite salty. So I'm going to, I have this back here at a high flame, and when it comes to a boil, I'm going to toss this dried pasta in there. You can use any kind of pasta for this particular recipe, but I like something that has a kind of texture and size and shape that will catch a lot of that salsa, because that's the good part of the dish. So something like this, or fusilli, or any of the other shell-like things are really perfect for this kind of thing. So once this comes to a boil, I will put the pasta in, and I will keep turning this until it's nicely browned all over. The eggplant is nicely soft. I'm going to sprinkle it with just a little bit of salt over the top. I didn't do that at the beginning because it tends to pull out a lot of water from the eggplant, and I wanted this to actually brown really beautifully. It's really beautiful right now. This is the way I like eggplant to be cooked. Now the salsa will go in. And we will turn down the temperature a bit here. Stir that classic combination of tomato with eggplant. Everybody loves that combination, but this one obviously has all of the Mexican seasonings in it. And we're going to put some more on the final dish as well. And we're just going to let this cook until it is reduced just a little bit, just a couple of minutes. think the pasta is just about done here. I'm gonna put a little piece of it down there and cut it and taste it. I'm looking for al dente. Yeah, it's exactly what I'm looking for. Just a little bite at the in the very middle. Now, because this pasta water has so much starch in it, I'm going to thin this mixture out here with about half a cup of that. And now I am going to drain this pasta completely here. That pasta water always makes the pasta sauce so silky and beautiful. So I want to get all that water off of there, and we'll put that in here. I'll set that over there. And now we can just toss everything. Now, I always like to cook the pasta with the sauce to finish its cooking. That's why I like to finish the boiling part of it when there's still just a little bite on them in the inside, that what they call al dente. And we'll just let it cook here for a minute more. Well, not only is the pasta cooked through now, but it's also absorbed a whole lot of that sauce. That's what I really love. I'm going to I'm going to put a little bit of cheese in here first. So this is Mexican queso añejo, which I highly recommend for this just because of the flavorings in the sauce itself. But you could also use Parmesan or Romano, any of those. The Pecorino Romano is good in this as well. So just stir it in to give a little boost of flavor there. And then I'm going to put a portion of this into one of my pasta bowls here. Such a nice dinner. And then we'll put a little bit more of this Mexican queso añejo over the top of it, and some cilantro leaves. Just let them fall down over the top of this like that. And I'll tell you, you have a really, really nice dinner. I'll tell you, you're going to want to learn this recipe by heart.